For today's article, we are looking at a story coming out of West Virginia where a judge is apparently pointing guns at attorneys in the courtroom. That would certainly get my attention real fast. According to attorney Lauren Verdano, Circuit Judge David Hummel Jr. pointed a gun at the defense during a March 2022 court case. Okay, let's learn a little bit more about the gun-toting judge in West Virginia. During a trial in West Virginia in March, a judge allegedly pulled out a handgun, scanned the room with it, and pointed directly at the defense team, according to a defense attorney who was present. The judge then allegedly laid it on the judge's bench and rotated it until the barrel was facing defense attorneys before continuing on with the trial. Okay. According to the Daily Beast, who first reported on the story, Circuit Judge David Hummel Jr., who presides over cases in Marshall, Tyler, and Wetzel counties of West Virginia, has denied the incident took place. However, Hummel is now under investigation by the state's Judicial Investigation Commission, according to commission documents. Attorney Lauren Varnado, who was representing EQT Production Company and Equitable Resources, now named Equitable Corporation. They call themselves Equitable Corporation. Something about that just seems wrong, but okay. Anyways, representing Equitable Corporation during the trial. The case, which has since been settled, concerning mineral rights and gas drilling. Interesting topics, I'm sure, and particularly in West Virginia, but Before the alleged incident with the gun took place on March the 12th, Varnado tells People she had filed a motion to disqualify Hummel, citing alleged conflicts of interest related to his family. The motion to disqualify apparently was unsuccessful. Well, seems like we might have several reasons to disqualify as well. Sure. According to Varnado, this motion for disqualification, which required Varnado to discuss Hummel's family in his presence, created tension with Hummel from the beginning. As you could imagine, this was extremely uncomfortable, Varnado tells People, especially when some of the potential issues were related to familial relationships. That's something you don't want to normally discuss with a judge. I would imagine that could lead to some hurt feelings, yes. According to Varnado, the next time she and her fellow attorneys appeared before Hummel in court, he looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Nice try," Varnado said. Okay. Varnado said she first saw the judge's gun, and that's not a euphemism here, we really mean gun, during the pretrial conference on March the 1st, when his judicial robe was unzipped, but this time the gun was holstered. During the trial, Varnado alleges Hummel verbally demeaned her. At one point, she alleges he interrupted her opening statements, dismissed the jury, and berated her. All's not going great here in West Virginia. He screamed, "I'm a despicable person," and used profanity, which I've never heard anyone in court cuss, to be honest. I was in total shock, and it proceeded for the rest of the week. It was torture, and every day you never knew it was going to set him off. She alleges similar incidents occurred regularly leading up to March 12th. On that day, she said a member of their team, who'd been brought in for security, was turned away at the door by a court officer. Varnado alleges Hummel then asked her in court why she had brought that person with her. According to the copy of the court transcript obtained by Daily Beast, Hummel subsequently said of the person, "We were never told these folks were security until most recently." Referring to the security person, Hummel added, "I got this man here carrying a man purse, which I make fun of him every damn day for wearing such a sissy-ass contraption." This is the judge speaking at this point, by the way. "And I hear he has a blood coagulant. I have blood coagulant up here too, and I've got lots of guns, like bigger ones too." Varnado alleges that Hummel then stood up, pulled out his gun, and scanned the room with it before directly pointing it at the defense team. He then allegedly placed the gun down on his wooden judicial bench and rotated the gun until the barrel was facing the defense team, doing so slowly and deliberately, she says. Varnado says, "I do know enough about gun safety to know you never hold a gun in a shooting fashion when you're not intending to shoot." Yeah, Stephanie is our resident firearms expert over here. Stephanie, what are you thinking about this from the basic rules of firearm safety? The judge pulling out the firearm and scanning the room with it, and then pointing the barrel of the gun at the defense team. Is this seem like a satisfactory thing to you in the gun safety world? I don't know, man. The gun remained out in the open and in the same position for the rest of the hearing. After the hearing, Varnado reported the incident to the FBI. The truth of it is, you should never feel unsafe or afraid in your workplace. As a trial the courtroom is your office, Varnado said. Not only that, but a court is supposed to be a place of dignity and respect, not threats and ridicule. Explaining why she decided to publicize her allegations, Varnado says, "What occurred was so over the top, I shudder to think what happens when someone who would never say anything." It's unclear whether Hummel is still presiding over cases in West Virginia, but he was still listed on the West Virginia Judiciary website. According to CBS News, the EQT Corporation recently released a statement in support of Varnado that says, "A courtroom is meant to be a place of honor, respect, and dignity. EQT is committed to prioritizing the safety of our employees and partners no matter where they work. We're thankful for the service of Ms. Varnado and her colleagues and are relieved that they were not injured." People magazine made 2 attempts to reach Judge Hummel's office, but were unsuccessful. CBS reports that Judge Hummel's office told the outlet that the judge is prevented from commenting at this time. According to CBS, the West Virginia Judicial Investigation Commission had no comment, and the FBI also had no comment about this whole thing. Well, that's fun. Thus, that brings us to the end of our story about the judge in West Virginia who apparently is pointing his gun at lawyers in his courtroom, and also define basic rules of firearm safety, such as don't point a gun at anything you don't want to destroy. Thank you so much for being part of the Uncivil Law family. If you enjoyed this legal education content, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We appreciate your continuing support. Until later, my friends, cheers and goodbye.